Hey there, welcome to the Credit Card News live stream. I'm Cal Barton. I'm hoping you're having a good weekend so far. Danny, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. KW, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. So you just got your first limit increase on the Apple Card. Nice. You know, you're welcome. It's really getting fun for me. You know, I'm just trying to find the best strategies to attain limit increases. I know that's something a lot of you want, and I want it too for some of my cars that I don't have a good starting limit with. And so, you know, that's going to be a really strong focus of my channel going forward. And I see you up there, Cinema Madness, man. Welcome back. So you got the you got another bank bonus from Charles Schwab. Recently, they raised you, their Schwab starter kit to $50 from $50 to $101. Nice. Now I have a question. Is that require a direct deposit from like an official, job or employer? That's the only thing that trips me up, because when I got my DCU intro bonus with the Digital Federal Credit Union, then I only had to deposit like $5 or $7. I'm not sure which one it was. And I only had to make 5 transactions, and those transactions were for 1 cent a piece. And then I qualified for the $100 sign-up bonus. So if it's something like that, I'm very interested in it, because it's going to be a no-brainer at that point. Now, I did read somewhere that, I think it was on Doctor of Credit, that you could only use those sign-up bonus with the banks like around 10 times in a calendar year. Have you found that to be the case? All right, Danny, you're saying you recently got approved for two new cards. Wow. Amex Blue Cash every day and the GM Rewards. General Motors. Okay. Very nice. You know what you get? And there were soft pulls. That's exactly what you want to happen. And I'm actually going to be discussing that later in the stream. Is soft pulls versus hard pulls. And there's some distinctions between the two, and it's very important that you know that. when you're, starting and on your credit card journey. You've got to really focus on those soft pulls like Danny's alluding to. And the Titan, man, welcome to the stream. I don't think I've seen you here before, so it's good to have you. You're gonna have a good time here. All right, Cinnamon, you're saying no direct deposit. Most of my bonuses I received at this point, likely only 2 of 12 of my bonuses ever required direct deposit. I find it hard for my payroll to switch my direct. Yes. And I don't even want to mess with that. I think my payroll with my job, they messed up. It takes them like 2 weeks to catch up when you switch banks, when you switch direct deposit. So I don't even want to touch that. And so I'm glad that you drew the distinction there. It's good to know. I'm going to take a look at that for sure. Jamie, man, what's Jamie? I think that's a unisex name. So if you're a girl or a guy, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. All right, so I'm just gonna start off with some news. It was a slow news week, admittedly, okay? But there's a few things that I did want to highlight, and then I'm gonna get into credit limit increases a little bit later, and you guys can tell me what you think. So this story here, 75% of Americans have missed credit card payments due to COVID-19. A new survey found that COVID-19 added pressure to a lot of households' personal finances. In fact, more than 3/4 of respondents admitted to making a late credit card payment during the pandemic or missing a payment entirely. If you're one of the many Americans who aren't familiar with the perks included on their specific card, you're not alone. According to our survey, only 29% of cardholders strongly agree that they understand their card benefits. 40% of cardholders are dissatisfied by interest rates, according to the survey, making it the top source of frustration when it comes to credit cards. So, a few of my thoughts here. I know my audience makes on-time payments. I know you guys most of you I think are hardcore, and you're going to be making those on-time payments because, if you don't, then you're going to face late fees, you're going to face interest, and you're also going to be harming your credit score in the meantime. In the short time frame, if you don't, make those on-time payments, you're going to be severely damaging credit score. And I know that's paramount on your list. And that's why I know a lot of you want credit limit increases, is to either maintain or even raise your credit score. So if you're paying for, or you're worried about interest, then you're using credit cards all wrong. I noticed that a lot of people, it's hard to get them out of that mode where they're constantly worried about what is the interest rate. Is it 25%? Is it 10%? And they're like, oh, if they see a low percentage rate, then they're more likely to be interested in the card. But that's not something you want to pay ever. You don't ever want to pay interest. And, a lot of people don't know, but the credit card issuers actually make money regardless. That's the beautiful thing about being a bank and having these cards, because you're going to make money on both sides of the transaction, no matter what happens, because banks are getting paid through interchange fees, and those fees are what they charge the merchant for allowing credit cards to be used there. And so those fees can range from 1% to 3%. I think in some cases with Amex, it's 4%. A lot of people, that's why a lot of merchants didn't want to allow Amex to be used at their stores. So they make money with interchange fees. They also make money with annual fees and interest charges. And a study that I found is that about 45 to 55, I think it's 55% of people are rolling over, are what they call revolvers. So they actually carry balances from month to month. And so they're always paying interest. The banks love this because not only are they getting paid off the transactions, but they're also getting paid from the interest. And then if you have one of those fancy platinum cards, I know a lot of you love them. I personally am a cashback guy. You're paying those exorbitant $100 to $700 annual fees. So the banks are winning, and you already know that. So it's surprising how many people don't understand their cars. I find this like from day to day, even going to work, people will have all this plastic or metal in their wallet and they have almost zero idea of how to use it, how to maximize it, and what it can actually do for them. And it's kind of surprising because a lot of them are paying annual fees, and I couldn't imagine having to pay a fee yearly and not getting the most from it, or sometimes not getting anything at all. A lot of people don't even redeem their rewards, which is surprising to y'all. They don't even redeem them. So, and I think partly the reason for that is because some of these reward systems are pretty complex. I mean, if you look at the Amex, platinum card or the gold card, they have a bunch of statement credits. And then you have to drill down into those statement credits and then look at the fine print and see exactly how to use them. You got to watch you got to take a YouTube course just to figure out how to use your card. I don't think that should be the case. I don't like that at all. But, people having an issue with that. Second story. Few Americans have a $0 credit card balance each month. As credit card debt among Americans continues to grow and paying with plastic becomes more common, a new survey on credit card usage from Lantern by SoFi, I bank with SoFi, says that just 13% of respondents carry a $0 balance from month to month. The most common credit card balance people carry ranges from $1 to $2,500, with 40% of people saying they carry this amount monthly. A small percentage, which is 7%, said they carry a balance of $10,000 or higher. The SoFi also reported that women were 1.5 times more likely to carry a no balance on their car. So I'm assuming that means that they carry zero balance. That would be great. And so compared to men, in fact, 16% of women said they had no regrets when it came to their credit card purchases. So just judging by the numbers here, that means 87% of people carried a balance. And that's much higher than the studies that I've seen. But I would believe it. And you never want to carry a balance. We discussed that. And I'm sure you've seen that so much. And a $10,000, can you imagine carrying a $10,000 balance from month to month, just in perpetuity? That would be, yeah, that would be terrible. So the women are doing it slightly better, but to have no regrets about your purchases when you're carrying a balance, I would regret that. I would definitely be regretting that. And I would tell people that even using credit cards, if you find that you can't avoid carrying a balance, then you need to put them away. You need to, what they say, sock drawer that card. You need to basically hide it from yourself. And then once you figure things out and you can spend, you can do typical spending, not forced spending, not overspending, then you'll, you should be able to use those cards responsibly. Yeah, so I just want to address a few guys here. Take a look at these comments. Nino, what's up, man? Hi, welcome back. So Cinemash, you're saying, I really feel for those who are in credit card debt because of the Fed saying they're about to raise rates multiple times, and that makes debt more expensive, including credit cards. Yeah, it does. Now, Jorge, you're saying that the APR reduction makes the SoFi credit card unbeatable. I think the SoFi card is unbeatable for a few other reasons, just because they can, you're allowed to automate your cashback system. So as I've said plenty of times before, you can set up automatic payments, and then at the end of the month, after you've finished all your transactions, you can set up automatic redemption. I love that feature. But that 1% APR reduction, it looks nice on paper, but I mean, if you're never going to be faced with an interest charge, it's not going to come into play. So I don't really consider that. Yeah, Danny, I hardly ever use my debit card. I have been using it at the gas station recently because they do charge like 10 cents extra, and I've been trying to figure out a way past that. When I initially, I used to live down south in South Carolina, and most of the gas stations, they didn't charge any extra fees. You could just use any payment method and it was the same. So I'm definitely missing out on like 4% cash back. So I just wanted to focus on increasing your credit limit. And there's a few things that I've been seeing popping up. I just want to do like a 30,000 foot view, just kind of an overview of what I've been learning about increasing your credit limit. Some major factors. One is your spending. That's got to be number one. I'm seeing a lot of credit card issuers look at that, and it makes sense. The more you transact, the more you spend, they're going to be getting, 3% of all those transactions with the merchant, and they're going to be getting likely interest charges on your behalf when you use it. So they're going to prioritize you spending more as a criteria for getting higher limits. And they're going to want to give you a higher limit so that you can spend more and earn them more money. But what I found is that a lot of the credit card issuers like it when you use a significant amount, usually like over 50% of your credit limit, your available limit. And that's kind of like a threshold, like a general threshold that they like to look for to initiate either an automatic limit increase, or once that statement cuts, then when you go and apply, it really looks favorable on your application when you want that new higher credit limit. They also, I've seen this for the Discover It card in particular, they like when you carry a balance, and it actually makes it kind of viable because the Discover It card comes with a 0% APR intro bonus, and you can even call into customer service. And if you're already a card holder, they may even give you that introductory bonus just because you're a valued customer, and they're pretty liberal with those things. So if you carry a balance, that, I wouldn't, if you're not getting a 0% APR, introductory offer with that, I would not advise doing that because you're going to be charged interest, and you don't want to, a credit limit increase is not worth being charged extra. You should be able to get that for free. Banks, as I said before, banks make money when you transact. So obviously the more that you are transacting and running money through their payment network, they're going to continuously be earning money. So they're going to love that. Also, a great tactic to getting a limit increase are forcing, initiating some higher spending is to plan large purchases around using that card. So if you want to buy a new stove, or you want to buy, the PS5 and a couple of things, a new camera, whatever you're into, new set of golf clubs or whatever, you want to plan those purchases with that card so that you can dramatically increase your spending for that month. And that's going to either put you in that threshold category to be looked at more favorably when they see your application. Another way you can do this is with gift cards. I use Amazon a lot. I'm sure a lot of you do too. And Amazon is beautiful because you can buy a gift card for any amount that you want. All you got to go do is go into the search box on Amazon's website, and they'll let you buy from $5 up until, I don't even think there's a limit. And so if you're going to be doing a lot of purchases, maybe it's around the holiday season, you can go ahead and push that money through Amazon's website and buy those gift cards. And now you have a ton of spend on that credit card. All right, Kamar, what's up, man? Hi, welcome. I think it's good to have you at the on the live stream. So welcome. You're telling me go buy the gas card from the gas station with the credit card, and they'll give you 3x or 4x back. Okay. So just buy their branded gas card. Okay. I like that. I'm going to look into that. Thank you. Thank you, man. So Nino, you're saying if you see a recession looming, do you see credit card issuers lowering credit card limits once again? I saw some stories about that. You know, I have a bunch of cars. None of them, I have probably over 20 cars. None of those limits got lowered, but I saw quite a few people complaining about that. Yeah, I do see them lowering limits. You know, they did it once before. There's no reason why they wouldn't do it again. As far as the recession part, I'm not convinced at all that there's a recession impending. You know, I don't think anybody can, you know, speculate and figure out when there's going to be a bear market or a bull market, when it's going to start and end. I just I go with the flow. I follow. I don't really buy into the idea that you can actually know for sure. I do love the narrative around it. I do love seeing, you know, the fiery thumbnails, and I like seeing, you know, all the drama that people like to stir up. It makes good. It's entertainment. So I'm not sure if there's a recession looming or not. Could be. But I know people were upset about their credit limits lowering, because if you didn't have much available credit, or if you didn't have other cars with higher limits, then you were your credit score took a nosedive immediately. That sucks. You know, there should really be some safeguards around that. You know, if once you get a credit limit from an issuer, they should have to ask you for permission to lower that limit, or make some sort of other arrangement, make it worth your while. Because you know, what if you're in the process of buying a house or something like that, and you have to qualify for a loan, and now that moves you into, you know, a worse rate? That's messed up. So here's another major factor here. Relationship. And I think, Nino, we've spoken about this, about how you need a good relationship with your bank to a lot of times to get that limit increase. A notable one is Navy Federal Credit Union. And a lot of the credit unions require a good long-standing relationship. So some of the keys to to maintaining and nurturing a good relationship is using their products and services. Now, I wouldn't advocate going out and using everything they have, you know, just because it's there. I would say if you see things that they're offering that will work for you, that will fit into your, you know, your typical spending, or, you know, would add value to your life, then I would say go for it. You know, if there's a loan, if you can get an auto loan through that credit union, if you can use one of their personal loans, or if you're doing, you know, renovating or remodeling your home and you can use them for that, go ahead, because that's just going to bolster, you know, your personal, you know, your file, your report with them. And so Navy Federal has like an internal score. Most places do. And that's going to help you when it's time to, you know, ask for a higher limit or get that auto limit increase. And you just want to, the idea is that you want to focus on things that are going to, from the bank's perspective, that are going to make them money. They're focused on making money, and they make money by you using their products and services. They've decided on the back end that these are profitable for them. And if you use them and interact with them, it's going to generate money. And the more that you do, the more favorably they'll look at giving you more of a higher credit limit. So, and then the flip side of this is that when you have the option to to promise them to basically, when you're filling out an application, like for Capital One, I know a lot of you don't like that, but just for example, Capital One allows you to say that, hey, I'm going to use the cash advance feature. I'm going to use the balance transfer feature of this card. It's nice to put those things down. Check it all off. It doesn't mean that you have to sign up for that right now. If they ask you for a authorized user, a lot of cards ask you for that. Check it off. I think it's always going to work to your benefit if you say, hey, I'm going to sign up for everything you got. I promise. And I'm going to use everything, every product and service you have. I think that's going to work out in your favor. Another major factor I've found is timing. And some banks don't, they have pretty like locked in, like very well-known times that you need to apply or you need to look to apply. And others just say, hey, they let you go whole hog. You get what every month, like Discover cards, every single month, or the Apple card, every single month, 31 days you can apply. It's a soft pull and you'll have no problem just peeking in the door. Hey, do you have anything? You have anything for me? And then they say no, guess what? You come right back around next month and it's not an issue. Now, if you're going for like a Chase card and you're trying to apply, it's always going to be a hard pull. So you want to be very careful with those. And you have to, I've done a few videos on that with Chase specifically. And the time frames are going to be anywhere from 30 days to 3 months to 6 months. It's going to be, and for every credit card issue, is going to be a little bit different. But you want to do some research on the timing. That's going to matter, when to actually apply. Another thing that you want to keep note of is if you're going for more cards. I know a lot of you are trying to build out a credit card system, a trifecta. I know Nino, I know that you want the Chase trifecta. And so if you're going for the higher limits also, you want to prioritize applying for new cards first for a couple of reasons. One is that you may put yourself at a maximum exposure limit for that particular bank. And so if you ask for a higher limit and you get a nice increase, it might put you over their internal threshold for you specifically. And they might not want to approve you for a new card because maybe you don't have a high enough income to support a brand new card and that limit increase you just asked for. So you want to prioritize a brand new card first. And once you get those cards built out, then ask for limit increases, accordingly, or however you want. Also, you want to apply for a limit increase after a big month. So like I said before, if you have a month where you purchased a big item, a refrigerator, or, you fixed your car, you replaced your transmission, is a few $1,000s, that's the month. Once that statement cuts, you want to apply the month after, because they're going to see that you made some big transactions. You're a big spender. You need a higher limit to match that spending. All right, Janiqua, you just got into Navy Federal. Congrats. Good job. I like that. I wish I could get a Navy Federal. I know, Danny, I know you've been trying to get a Navy Federal also. I hope you do one day. Find a way in there. We got to have some sort of connect. Some sort of family. All right, Nina, you're saying if I ever need a loan, there's only 2 institutions I would turn to: Navy Federal and Capital One. I can't depend on others like Chase, for example. Okay, interesting. Capital One. So you've had good experiences with them, with the, as far as loans go. Nice. Capital One gets a lot of heat, and maybe that's just for their personal, for their consumer credit cards. They get a lot of heat for that, and we might have to discuss that later. Oh, Dr. Fed, you said PinFed is on Navy Fed's neck. All right. They're on their neck. They might be. I know they're offering some really good limit increases over there. And then the plus side about PinFed is that anybody can join. I think all you need is a $5 or $10 deposit, and you can set up your account, which is nice. Yeah, Kamar, you know what? From what I've learned is that with Chase, that's like a soft rule. So it's usually the case for most people that you can only have up to half of your total, your total yearly income as a total credit limit across all of your Chase cards. But that's a soft limit. People have gotten past that. In my opinion, based upon that knowledge, I don't think I wouldn't expect an automatic limit increase once you reach that threshold. And the Titan, you're saying you have no issues with Capital One. All right. Yeah, me either. Admittedly, it's funny because I have my largest credit limit with the Capital One Quicksilver. It's a $15,000 limit. I never use this card, but I have not had an issue with Capital One. I did have a Saver card back in the day, a Saver, the 4% card, but it had like a $100 annual fee. So I had to get rid of it because, I don't do annual fees. So, but I didn't have an issue with them. So your mileage may vary, as they say. Darren, so welcome to the stream. How reliable are Chase pre-approvals? Is it worth risking a hard inquiry to follow through and apply? You know what? How are you getting that pre-approval? Because last I checked, there was no way to get pre-approved for a Chase card. Was that like a mailer? Did you receive some sort of pre-approval through the mail? But from my experience, from my personal experience, if I'm pre-approved for a card, I've always been able to get approved for the card. I know some other people have not had a experience like that, but it's been 100%, 10 out of 10 for me. And I even told you a few months ago when I applied for the City Custom Cash card, I was pre-approved through Credit Karma, and they said, "Hey, outstanding chance odds of getting this card." I got it that time too. Oh, Darren, so you got it through email and in the app. Okay, that's promising to me. I'm pretty confident in that. There's some literature that I've read about Credit Karma specifically, but I think this is going to be true for most pre-qualifications or pre-approvals. It significantly increases your likelihood of getting approved for the card. They've done the soft pull. They've looked at your history. As long as there's no major changes to your credit report, you should get approved. Yeah, Nubia Rising. Yeah, the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Yeah, it's a great card. And I love the 3% on dining and drugstores, is okay. I go to Walgreens or CVS here and there, maybe, once every 3 months or so. But the dining is big for sure. And then I like that it has the 1.5% back on everything. So it can even be your only card because it matches the Quicksilver card at 1.5%, and you're still getting those bonus rates. And I think when you sign up, you get a 5% bonus rate on gas at this point. So yeah, it's a good card. Yeah, so Thomas, welcome to the stream. So when they say household income, when they say annual income, it's really up to you. If you look at then this information is coming from the government agency that regulates the credit card industry. I think it's called CFP. I think the acronym is CFPB, something like that. I can look it up. But if you look at the small writing underneath that box where they ask you for your income, it's going to tell you, hey, if you're over 21, you can use household income, and you can use income of anybody that basically helps you out, you share bills with, that puts money into your account, or you can generally expect to help you pay for things, or that you share bills with. So it's really up to you. And from my experience, I've never been asked for proof of income. I know some of these, I think PinFed was the only bank that I came across that would actually ask you for proof of income. Any other application I've done, it's never happened. But if you are reasonable, you should be able to supply the proof of income. But yes, you can use household income, no problem. And it says that right on the application. Oh, Walter, man, welcome to the stream, Walter. As you know, it's so good to see these. Well, I don't see your faces, but you see my face. But it's good to have you at the stream. What do I think about the SoFi card? I love it. It's, I got that card back in late 2019. Yeah, I think it's been close to 2 years. It's basically my baseline foundation card. And the reason I love it, I always say this, is that it's an automated, it's truly passive income, because once you set it up one time, that's all you have to do. All you have to do is set it up for auto pay every month, and then also set it up to auto redeem your rewards into your checking account every month. And so once you use the card for, typical spending, then after that statement cuts, it'll automatically be siphoned off into your checking account, and it'll just send you a notification, hey, here's your money. You don't have to initiate anything. So that's why I really love it. And it's 2% cash back. There's no foreign transaction fees if you travel, which is becoming a feature that a lot of cards initially had, but they're doing away with for some reason. I guess they feel like they don't have to compete on it. So I think 60% of cards have a 3% foreign transaction fee. And then in addition to that, the SoFi card will give you $1,000 of cell phone protection if you pay the entire cell phone bill with that card. Cinemanis, you're saying City Custom Cash versus Chase Freedom Flex. I'm going City Custom Cash all day. Yeah, I'm big on that. And not because I just got approved for the card a few months ago. I think it's really important to have a card that you can use exactly how you want to. It's basically custom made to you. I can get 5% back in travel, or you can get 5% back on groceries. Same card, but it works differently for both of us, but we both get 5% back in our top spending category. That's beautiful. With the Freedom Flex, you're chasing that 5% category. You're chasing it around from month to month. You have to, be mindful of the top. You have to be mindful of activating that bonus rate. You have to be mindful of the calendar and when that starts and stops. So I want to be as hands off as possible. The City Custom Cash allows that. All right, Thomas, you're saying I just got approved for the Capital One Quicksilver, and I only put my income. How soon can I try for a credit line increase? So with the Quicksilver card, I believe that's after 6 statements in 6 months that they generally, after getting approved for the card. I have to verify that. I believe that's 6 months on that card after getting approved. But either way, it's gonna, when you do apply for an increase, it's gonna be a soft pull. All right, Hood Chronicles. It took me a second. It took me a second right there. Hood Chronicles, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How many credit cards should someone have? What are your top picks? I'm looking into the Amex Gold. Okay. Amex Gold is really popular. I've seen that come up a few times. That's not my jam, but we'll get into that. You can have as many credit cards as you want. You know, I personally have over 20. I know Nino, I'm not sure, Nino, you said you can roll with 3 or so. I think you have around 10. But if in the chat, Danny, he has more than me. He has like 25 plus. That's not going to negatively impact your credit report. So you can have as many cards as you want. Most of the time, that's going to positively impact your credit report because you're raising your available credit limit. And when you raise that available credit limit, then that will in turn, that will act inversely. So it's going to act in the opposite way. It's going to lower your credit utilization rate. So basically how much you're using, how much spend you're putting on your cards. And so when you have a low utilization rate and you have a high available limit, it's going to really it's going to do wonders for your credit score. So it's usually a great thing. But you want to apply for cards that you're genuinely going to use. You know, you don't want to waste a hard inquiry on a card that you're just looking for. You're going to sign up bonus chase. A lot of people do that. They'll see a $200 sign up bonus, or they'll see like you know, for some of these travel cards, 100,000 point bonus. If you don't see yourself using it after the first year, I would say don't even sign up for it. It's not worth the effort and the headache. You might forget to cancel it and it's got a huge annual fee and now you're out of luck. Yeah, so Nino, you say, I don't even bother anymore asking for credit limit increases. I just let it happen organically or apply for a new card. Yeah, you know, I find myself that I pretty much automatically get a limit that is going to work for me. It's usually around $10,000. So it's not really an issue for me, but I know for many people that you might be starting out around the, you know, the $2,000 range or something like that. And that's just not enough to put typical spending. Sometimes you have a larger spending month and that's going to really damage your credit report if you have a low limit and you're spending, you know, 90% of it. So, and it's just nice to have that cushion. It's nice to have, you know, you don't want to go in the store and your cards decline because, oh, you're, you know, $5 or $10 over the limit for that month. So you just want to have that cushion too. But yeah, I don't bother myself to request the increase. So I that works for me also, but for many people, Nino, that's not the case. Cinemanic, you're saying, do you think Citi will ever really get back serious into the travel game? Because ever since them taking down their Citi Prestige card, they are really not that competitive with travel versus Chase and Amex. Yeah, I think, and I don't think they have travel partners. So that's a big deal for people into the travel cards. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get back to you, Hood Chronicles. I just kind of lost my train of thought there. But just to finish that off, Cinemanis, yeah, I don't see them being competitive. You know, sometimes credit card issuers kind of pick their lane. They kind of pick a section of the market that they want to corner and to be known for. And it seems like travel cards maybe are not a priority for a city at this point. You know, case in point, like Discover and CapitalOne, they kind of like to focus on entry level applicants and, you know, kind of guiding people in the door from like college students and people with, you know, kind of low credit to get them in the door and get them into their system, into their, you know, their credit card suite. And Chase, on the other hand, focuses on travel, high end. You know, you can't get a Chase card for less than, you know, a 700 score. So you need really good to excellent credit to get those. So they just kind of pick their market. And I think I don't see them being competitive. But just to go back to you, Hood Chronicles, my top picks for credit cards, for me, the SoFi credit card, 2% card, that's going to be my baseline. I personally use the Verizon Visa card for gas, grocery, you get 4% back. I'm missing a couple categories on that, but that's a really strong card if you have Verizon services. If you have like a Verizon cell phone or Verizon, you know, internet, Fios. Other than that, the City Custom Cash, you get 5% back in the category of your choice, your top spending category. The Venmo credit card, you get 3% back in. It works the same way, but you have it. You can get 3% back in your top spending category, and then you get 2% back in your next top spend. I use that for travel. And what else do I have? The US Bank Cash Plus card gets you have a choice of categories that you can choose to earn 5% back in. What that card is good for is utilities, and I use that for, you know, water, gas, electric bill, so I can get 5% back in those categories. So those are a few of my top spend. I think I'm missing one or two there, but as far as the Amex Gold, I'm seeing a lot of good favor for that card. I personally don't use travel cards or cards with annual fees, but, you know, to each his own. But I will be trying my best to help you get into that card, get approved for whatever card that you want. All right, E Batista, welcome to the live stream. So, is the CapitalOne Saver a good card? Yeah, so I had the CapitalOne Saver card. I think the rewards system they have with 4% back in entertainment and dining, that's great. I don't like the annual fee. I think the CapitalOne Saver One card is better. In my opinion, that's going to be a better card because there's no annual fee, and then you get 3% back unlimited in dining and entertainment. Entertainment is not a typical category that they offer, that card issuers offer a bonus rate in. So I like the Saver One card. Darren, what's up, man? So have you looked into the PayPal card or the Venmo card? Yeah, I have both. Yeah, the PayPal is a 2% card. Unfortunately, you know, there was some bad news with PayPal. They went back on their foreign transaction fee, which is so now if you use that card abroad, you're going to be charged 3% for transactions. I'm not traveling abroad too much these days, but I like knowing that if I use a card wherever, I'm not going to be charged any extra. But I love a 2% card, but I already have one. All you need is one 2% card. And for me, that's a SoFi credit card. The Venmo card, I love that because you can use that at your discretion, wherever you spend it the most, and you just get to pick any month. And every month it could be something different. And so every month you can use it for gas one month, you can use it for utilities another month, and you're still earning that 3% back. I love that feature. So I just wanted to cover one more thing. I'm going to get back to everybody. I just want to cover one more thing with the PowerPoint here. And that is, with some major factors for credit limit increase. Another thing is inquiries. And this is something that I've been finding the case with Citi. And so Citibank in particular, they want you to have very few credit inquiries to approve you for a limit increase on your card. So if you're trying to get an increase on your Citi Custom Cash or your Citi Double Cash card, you want to make sure that you're not, you don't have a bunch of hard pulls. You're not applying for every, card from every federal, credit union, and you're not just out here trying to accumulate credit cards at that point. They don't want to see that. So I'm guessing that they see that as a red flag for them, because they don't want to be exposed to someone who's going to be applying for cards or have a bunch of available credit. And so you could owe a bunch of money to one credit card issuer, and maybe you prioritize paying them, or maybe you just don't pay anything. You throw your hands up and say, hey, I'm not paying any credit card issuer. So I guess they want to guard against that. So, and that brings me to hard pulls versus soft pulls. A lot of people already understand this, that, if you have a hard credit pull on your file, that's going to really throw you off the rails when it comes to applying for new cards and getting limit increases, because it's going to show up on your credit report, and it takes a while for them to fall off, or it's going to take some time, a few months, in fact, for that to be, for those inquiries to be old enough so that they're not going to count them against you. So anytime you go to apply for a card or pre-approval offer or a limit increase, you want to make sure that you see the verbiage and the language saying that, hey, we're not going to perform a hard credit pull. This will not negatively affect your credit. All right, Cinemanis, you're saying, I was on Reddit and someone posted that they got a $49,000 starting limit with a 814 credit score. I thought the highest was 40,000. Have you ever heard of any limit higher than that? There's definitely, I think with the Navy Federal Credit Union flagship card, the highest limit is $80,000, but I don't think anybody starts with that limit. So for me, I've never seen a starting limit, like the limit that you get approved for out the gate to be 49,000. That sounds weird. That sounds fishy to me. But as far as having a $40,000 limit, there's consumer cards like the CapitalOne Venture X card. A lot of people starting out with $30,000 limits with that card. So that's not a surprising thing. Oh, so Cinema, you meant to say the Apple Card limit was starting with, yeah, that sounds, no, I don't think that would ever happen. I would want to see proof of that for sure. All right, E. Batista. So I'm not sure if it was you or another YouTuber, but I heard the best way to build up credit score is to use 50% credit utilization and then pay 40% on due date and then 10% after the due date. Yeah, I said that on a recent video for, I believe it was this Discover It card. That I recently said that. And that was using that method, if you pay 10% after the due date, that would be carrying a balance. The only reason you would want to do that is if you had a 0% APR introductory offer in place. And so as long as you're not going to be charged interest, I would feel free to do that. But if you're going to be charged interest, you never want to carry a balance, for any reason. But the big thing about the 50% utilization is to show the credit card issuer that, hey, I'm using the card, I'm using a significant amount. Maybe, hey, I need more. I need more of a limit to meet my spending needs. And then as long as you pay a majority of that balance off before your statement date or the closing date for that month, then a very small percentage will be reported to the credit agencies. And so when they see a small percentage, that's going to positively impact your credit score. You never want it to be, too high, because that's gonna raise your credit utilization rate, and that's gonna really hurt your credit score. Nina, I just want to go back to an earlier message here. So you have 8 credit cards here and got Google Sheet going, but only carry 4 as my daily drivers. The rest are locked up safety deposit box. Every 6 months, I charge a bubblegum purchase just to keep them alive. All right. Yeah, in the past, I've even said that if you want to kind of automate charges on a card, maybe it's a card you want a sock drawer, but you also want to put some spend on it so it doesn't get canceled by the credit card issuer due to inactivity. You could go the method or the route of using Amazon. You could use Amazon for their gift cards, and you can actually set up a recurring charge of $5 to Amazon. And if you're going to be making, regular purchases every month on Amazon, $5 is a drop in the bucket. Yeah, Cinnamon, it's actually, I had a low starting limit with my card recently with my US bank card, but you're saying my lowest starting limit ever of all my 5 cards was $500, and it's still there on the Target Red card. Yeah, $500 seems to be a pretty common starting limit, or the lowest starting limit you can have. And if I had the choice between getting approved for a card or not, or getting a low limit, I'm gonna take the low limit. I'm not gonna be happy about it, but the main objective is getting the card that I want, and then I can work up from there. But I'm sure you want to raise that limit at some point. So I just want to let everybody know, I do these live streams on a weekly basis. It's going to be every Sunday at 7 p.m. like you see tonight. My next video that I'm working on is how to increase your limit with the Citi Custom Cash card. So really it's focused on Citibank, and they actually work, surprisingly, they work a little different than most of the other credit card issuers. And I'm going to be doing kind of a deep dive on kind of the best strategy to increase your Citi card credit limit. Does anybody have more questions? I would love to jump on that. If you have, did anybody get approved for a brand new card, or did they get a credit limit increase? Do you have a success story? Janiqua, you saying I've been with Capital One for 5 years. They will not give me a high increase. Yeah, so I discussed this. I'm not sure which, I would love to know which card you have, but with Capital One, they're very well known to what they call bucket you into a specific credit, kind of by credit score. They will bucket you, basically categorize you to that bucket, and so you can really never escape that. So what if you signed up for a Capital One card and your credit score was shaky, your credit report wasn't that good, then they're going to put you in kind of a bad bucket, and they're only going to be giving you, either they won't increase your limit at all, or they'll just give you $100 increases. So the only way out of that is going to be to apply for a brand new card and a brand new Capital One card, which you probably don't want to do, right? But a good way to tell if you can actually get approved for one of the better offers is go to their pre-approval page and see what cars are available to you. Actually, you know what? Better than that. There's a page where it's a separate page, but if you already have a Capital One card, you can actually see what cards you can upgrade to. And if you see cards like the Capital One Venture X card or even the Venture card, then that's a good sign that you can qualify for that. Once you get approved for one of those cards, or that you'll get a higher starting limit and you'll be in a bucket that will allow you to grow a lot faster. But here's the thing with Capital One. I've noticed that even on the high end, they will only allow you to get kind of like, they will only allow $1,000 increase at maximum, which is kind of, you know, that most other credit card issuers will allow you to get multi-$1,000 increases at one time. Lunchrooms, welcome to the stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. You love the video about the Capital One bucket video. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Yeah, Batista, Capital One is stingy. It is stingy. I think, you know, I haven't asked for a limit increase on my Quicksilver card. It already started at a super high limit. When I first saw it, I'm like, why did they start me this high? But I haven't asked for an increase, but I've noticed that a lot of people have an issue with Capital One. It seems like if you don't start with a decent limit, then you're not going to move much further from there. So it's really important with Capital One that you come in the door when you apply having excellent credit. That's kind of the only way to ensure that you're going to get a decent limit with them. All right, Darren, you're saying, how long should I wait to try for a credit limit increase once my Discover card is unsecured? It's been 2 months. You know what? I would say for Discover, because with Discover, you can apply for a limit increase every 31 days. It's only a soft pull. But from what I've seen is that once you convert over from an unsecured card, people typically have to wait 6 months. But really, it's up to you. You can press that button whenever you want to, and you can rest assured that it's not going to, you know, impact your credit score. So, but after, I would say 6 months, and then after that, every 31 days. Danny, you saying, Cal, any new cars that you're interested in? You know, I'm looking and I'm not seeing much. I'm hoping that this year brings something new that I could replace one of my cards or replace a couple of cards. That would be awesome. I'm still waiting on SoFi to allow for credit limit increases. The travel cards, for some reason, even though I always kind of, I say I personally don't use the travel cards. I don't want to have any sort of annual fee. I like the benefits that come along with the Venture X card. That seems appealing, and they have the lowest annual fee out of the, you know, the premium tier travel cards. But yeah, but long story short, there's no cards at the moment that I'm interested in. All right, you know, I have quite a few. Yeah, I would say I'm open to it though. I'm open. All right, Discover, yeah. Batista, Discover told you to try at the 1 year mark. Yeah, I've seen that reported too. After 1 year, I've seen reports that people have, you know, called customer service and they've told them, you know, reported different amounts of time. It really, the good thing is that when you request a limit increase with Discover and Capital One, it's never going to be a hard pull. Unlike Chase, it's pretty much always a hard pull unless you get an automatic increase, I believe. So it's not going to hurt you. I would love to see some data points. If somebody requests an increase with Discover and they have some luck with that, I would love to hear it. You know, another thing that I've noticed is that with credit card issuers, they change their risk tolerance. They change their internal protocols over time. And so throughout the year and over the years, they'll update what they allow and what they disallow. For example, with Navy Federal Credit Union, it used to be the case that you could get a $50,000 limit on most of their cards. Know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what the exact amount is, but I know that in previous years, you could have a higher credit limit on their cards. And then they tapered that back. And so they kind of reeled that in recent years. So you'll find that it's kind of a constantly shifting field where the bank is saying they're not going to allow certain credit scores to reach certain limits at this point in time. And then your credit score is always changing. So these are two ever changing factors. So it's not going to be the same every month and every year. Oh, Don, I'm glad you, I haven't been asked this yet. Best advice to build business credit. That's outside of my wheelhouse at the moment. I wish I could help you with that. Business credit, I'm not too familiar with. But welcome to the stream. I know you have some consumer cards as well. If you have any questions about those, I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. Cinemanic, you're saying I actually do want to raise the red card limit because I heard that if you put enough spin on the card, it'll change to a Target MasterCard versus a store card. Really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. So you kind of just get an automatic, I wish the Amazon store card did that. I've had that for like 10 years. I want to get the Chase version of that. All right, Damar, welcome to the stream. You said keep up the great work. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's a journey. I appreciate that. All right, so Batista, you're saying this may be out of your scope, but does the number of approved credit cards over a span of 1 or 2 years affect your ability to get a mortgage? Do lenders see this as a red flag and get spooked? Yeah, definitely. I think that, well, they say that as soon as you start the mortgage, the lending process, and you start the home buying process, that you shouldn't make any changes to your credit file. So I know that to be the case. So as soon as you start the process, don't make any changes to your credit. Don't apply for anything. They always tell you that. As far as beyond that time frame, I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. Yeah, I've seen. You know what? You're saying Don. So okay, my sister got an Amex Platinum card today. Do you think if she added you as an authorized user, it'll be easier for you to get your own in the future? So, from what I've seen, that won't actually help you to be an authorized user. You need your own personal account with them. You need your basically your own relationship with them. Authorized users do not with Amex won't assist in getting your own Amex card. You have to get it on your own merit from what I've seen. The B Oh my god. EHJ23, let me find out. I have no idea what this track. I'm not hearing the music. Only you guys hear the music. That's the way I have it set up. That's so funny. That's a good question, man. Let me find out for you. Let me find out. Voyager. Let me see if I can post this real quick. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Okay. It's gonna be, the track's gonna be Voyager. And this name, I don't even want to, I'll just type it in the chat for you, okay? And you can search, I know it's not gonna make any sense, but you can search that. So Cinematic, she's saying, I'll get to have my money back from that Tastyworks 500 bonus because it was a lockup period of 3 months and it started December 31st. So at the end of the month, I'll get my $10,000 back. You know what? That's going to turn a lot of people off. I'll say that. I know you have the money, but it's a good return on your money, but that would deter me from signing up because I want to have access to the money. I want to be able to basically deposit the money and then a week later, withdraw it. That's the only thing I'll say about that. But I love, man, it's free money though. That's the good part, is that you can just basically churn these bank account intro bonuses and just earn some free money throughout the year. I think a lot of people don't take advantage of that. And that brings me to a point. If there's a new service or a new financial product that you ever sign up for, always, if you have somebody that would like it and you refer somebody, always look for a referral offer. Most services are going to have some way to refer a friend and you'll get paid for that. Always look for that. You guys, I'm sorry I didn't have the back camera up today. I kind of messed up. I didn't charge everything that I was supposed to, but next week I will have it up and running. I really appreciate Darren and who else do we have? Danny, thank you for answering questions. I love to see people just helping each other out, and we all have different kind of experiences and different cars that you can share your experience with and give your data points on, and that's a really good thing you're doing. All right, you're gonna look it up. EHJ23. Yeah, look it up, man. I'm gonna have to listen to that. You said it's slapping. I don't know what it sounds like, so I have to go back and listen to it. I want to thank you guys for coming in, chopping it up with me, hanging out. We're gonna do it again next Sunday at 7 p.m. like I said. And listen, I want everybody to have a good night and a good week.